August 17th, 2024. Tuesday this week, for the first time in my life, I attended a support group for grieving people. In the run-up to it, I've been fine. On the surface, my so-called current normal self, with all its ailments, had been quite relaxed. I was a bit late for the start, and when I arrived, the room was busy. Informal but busy, with tables full of chattering people. I was greeted with a smile by a lady who asked me to sign in, and having signed in, I was introduced to another lady who led me to a small table in a space between what was once two rooms and was now one big open room. Having sat me down and introduced herself, she asked me to talk about everything from the beginning, and I did. And I cried pretty much the whole way through for more than an hour. That was the first time in my life anyone had asked me to tell them everything. And I never saw it coming. And I never saw so many tears coming either. In the 3 days since, I've been physically terrible. Able to do my basic stuff, but physically terrible. Very achy in the area of my head around my tumour that was treated with radiotherapy. As I write, it's 5 a.m. the following Saturday, and I've woken from a dream. In the dream, I found myself running with no clothes on. This after walking for a long time and not being aware that I had no clothes on. When I realised, I became very scared and I started to run, trying to get back to where I was when I could remember last being dressed. As I ran, I shouted to people, "Call the police." I woke up as I was running, and when I woke, I was physically relaxed, but with my mind racing. I had no pain, but I was disorientated, not knowing where I was or what the time it was, and it took me a few minutes to come to myself. At the beginning of the dream, I was part of a two-man team selling new homemade covers for old furniture. We dressed in well-tailored suits and we were prospecting for business in my hometown of Chester. We were knocking on doors looking for sales opportunities. We found an opportunity and sold a service, and I was measuring up and fitting new fabric to what was a nice old sofa that needed a new cover. Having made a start, we reached the end of the working day and we each set off our own way home. Me walking along Hoole Lane back towards the city centre when I realised I was naked, fully exposed for the first time.